When was the last time you told yourself, I love you? When was the last time you gave yourself unconditional love? I find that people who are prone to spiritual development or search for spirituality tend to be the people who want to be of service and give of themselves a lot. A lot. They give and give and give and give, but they never give back to themselves. They rarely give back to themselves. They always are constantly giving. And what happens is they feel run down. They feel tired. They feel like they're depleted. That feeling is because you have to receive love as well as give love. And the person that you receive the most love from in your life is you. You have to love you first. Love is energetic. It flows. It's in motion. You've got to stay in the place of feeling love to be able to give love. You have to be able to feel love. And 9 out of 10 people that I meet would say terrible things about themselves that they would never let anybody else say about their friends. You know, instead of beating yourself up and diminishing who you are, how about I love you? You know, it's very funny. When I was a young man, I had long Fabio hair. Thank you very much. And I loved my long hair. And I liked my look. I had my little pointy beard, my long hair. And back then I wore a big earring instead of a little tiny one. And I loved how I looked. I just liked the look. It was cool. When this thing started sliding back, right? And one day I looked in the mirror and I looked like Ben Franklin. I decided, I went from having long hair to having no hair in a day. And I loved it. It was a wonderful thing. You know, I look in this camera right now and I'm looking at a teleprompter so I can see myself back in my face right now. And I'm like, I like that look. Look at that look. The glasses, even though these are simply reading glasses, I wear them on camera because I'm reading a teleprompter. I'm not reading anything, but I'm seeing my teleprompter in front of me. But that's the key is I like the look. You know, I like the pointy beard. Somebody the other day says, why don't you dye your beard? I said, why would I do that? I earned every one of these hairs. I earned every one. I'm so proud of them. And I look in the camera and I say, I like the look. I like the fact that these parts are dark and these parts are light, and I just love the look of it, right? I love that. I love the fact that I've stepped out of the corporate world and back to doing spiritual work full time. I love that about my life. I love expressing who I am fully. I love me. I love me, right? You've got to love yourself to be able to do good works. You've got to love yourself to be able to step out and show people what love is. Because if you are conditional with love towards yourself, you cannot emit an unconditional love out. Because love is not prone to only one direction. It has to go to and from. It has to flow back and forth. When I do energy work, it comes in one side and out the other side. It has to continue to flow. It creates that motion. When I do that work, it's all about the motion. And whenever we find ailment or depletion, it's because I feel it coming in and it doesn't go out because they're not receiving. And that is huge. You have to build yourself up with your own self-love. Give yourself unconditional love, and then you can give unconditional love. If you're not filled up with unconditional love, how can you give it? You fill yourself with conditional love, and then you try to give unconditional love, you're just going to deplete yourself, because the difference has to be made up somewhere. So unconditional love is endless, infinite. Conditional love is a burden and a struggle, and it tears you down. So drop the conditions and be unconditional in your love towards yourself. Look at yourself today and say, I love you. I love the way I look. I love the way I feel. I love the work I'm doing. I love my children, and I love my interaction with my children. I love how I decorated my house. I love how I did this. I love it's not vain. It's not self-centered. It is appreciation of self. It is the love of self as well. The key is not to get to the point where you're loving yourself so much that the other side falls. It's about balance. I love me as much as I love them. Sometimes loving me means that you have to set a boundary. Sometimes loving me means you have to let somebody go down the road and walk away, or you have to walk away from them just out of sake of loving me, right? If you're dealing with a narcissist in your life, that narcissist is trying to suck all the energy from you and it's unintentional. They're not trying to do it, but they are doing it because of the fact that they themselves aren't giving. Eventually, they will be the one who breaks down. But if you can stay unconditional and go, and sometimes a narcissist will then start to be doing hateful and hurtful things to you. You have to love yourself enough to go, no, we're not doing that. You can press back in love. You can be the consequence in love. And that is the important part. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is be the consequence. It's loving for you, but in the end, it's loving for them too, because they needed the consequence to see what they were doing. But so loving yourself is just as important as loving others. Being love does not mean only giving it or only receiving it. Being love means love flows easily through me. I receive it, I give it, I emanate it. So don't deplete yourself. Love yourself. I recognize the love inside of you. I hope that you recognize the love inside of yourself and that you can see in the world the love inside of everyone else. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.